So you were called to come back, but in a completely different way that you were working before at the restaurant. So you were called back, come back as head chef?
As head chef, yeah.
And an ownership or just a head chef?
As ownership as well, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big call to get, right?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, it was, again, you know, a lot of... So basically, yeah, I had a call and, you know, agreed, and I was coming back, and then Richard would, you know, have a handover with me, and then we'd inform Michelin, and, you know, I then came in and, you know, and then took over.
Because the restaurant had stars at that point.
I had 2 stars at that point.
So for those, again, that don't know, what happens to the stars when Richard...
Well, basically, you know, you'll either lose 2 or 1, you know, for sure. So I had to, you know, I had to prove myself. It wasn't like I was going to just walk in and be given them, you know. It's because, you know, they are the chefs after all. And so Richard was leaving and, you know, I had to come in. So I had like a couple of weeks or a week's handover with Richard. He then left, and all the staff, you know, were going to stay with me for a month, and then I'd be on my own. But, you know, when he left, they all kind of left after a week, and I was on my own. Me and a couple of others, you know.
So you're 25 at this point?
I was 25, yeah.
And you're walking in to now be a head chef for the first time.
And at that point, you realise that your learning stops in terms of
interesting
being. Well, it's another form of learning.
Yeah,
you know, you are, I guess, you know, the one that's in charge. You're one that's instilling everything from, you know, learning, teaching, to menu development, to dishes, to you know, how the restaurant works and ticks and and in a way, you're not learning from someone else. That's it. It's you. Yeah. So it's very different, you know, it's the extra pressure, it's the extra stress, and I kind of was already, you know, stressed because all the chefs left, and there was just me and 2 others, you know, working again, you know, 90, 100 hours a week. You know, I was working 6 days a week. It was just, you know, monotonous.
Yeah. What did you want to do with the restaurant? Obviously putting your name to it and putting the stamp.
Well, it was a case of, you know, the other side of it was, you know, everyone knew that I was coming in and I was taking over, so nobody wanted to come and work for me because I was an unknown, although I had a good CV, and everyone thought I was going to lose, you know, 2 stars or if definitely not 1 star, and so why would everyone want to come and work for me until I had proven myself and da-da-da-da. So, you know, it was a lot of, you know, I guess negativity a little bit in terms of, you know, wanting to come and work for me and what was going to happen.
How did you deal with that? Were you pretty just keep cracking on?
I just got on with it and, you know, kind of kept my head down and got on with what I had to do and, you know, cook some good food and just hope for the best.
So what did happen? You lost 1 star? The restaurant lost a 1 star or 2 stars?
Well, basically, because of the way that we had informed Michelin, I came in and started literally as the guide comes out. So the guide comes out in February. I just started after that. So we then, you know, we went into that whole calendar year still with 2 stars.
I see what you're saying.
And then when the guide came out, it just meant that I had a full, you know, 10 months really before they obviously go to print to try and, you know, keep 1, you know. But as it transpired, you know, I kept 2.
Did you think you were going to keep 2?
No, not at all. No fucking way.
Really?
No.
So to get 2 was a complete surprise.
I had no clue. You know.
Damn.
You know. So you know, I kind of was hedging my bets at, you know, keeping 1. You know.
Yeah.
But no, I had no way on the planet was I thinking that I'd keep 2.
The day that it came out and you had 2, you must remember that pretty clearly.
I remember it, yeah. I was like beaming like a Cheshire cat. I was in cloud 9. I couldn't believe it, you know, that had actually happened.
Yeah.
I was, you know, a 2-star chef at the age of 26, you know.
That's obviously very publicly documented. What was that kind of pressure like in gaining that, but also just afterwards?
No, listen, I mean, it was, you know, I guess there, you know, positives and not positives with it, you know. I mean, in terms of, you know, the press that we got, in terms of, you know, filling the restaurant, in terms of, you know, getting staff now and people, you know, and me having some, you know, a bit of credit in terms of what I, you know, had done over the last, you know, 10 months. And, you know, so there was all that. And then there was the added pressure and stress of obtaining and keeping, you know, the 2 stars. So that was...
You said that year of getting 2 was the hardest year, almost your career.
Well, one of them, yeah. You know, I would say...
Had lots, yeah.
Had lots, but, you know, it is, you know, it's very exciting as well. And being kind of unknown, you know, is a little bit of less stress because it's not like you've got the extra weight on your mind and your body of, being someone, you know, that's kind of, I guess, was the only, or one of the pluses, you know.
Yeah.